Okay, guys, welcome back to another stream. Hope everyone is doing good this Thursday morning. As always, guys, if you're enjoying the content, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and of course, make sure you do go and hit the bell so you don't miss out on any streams or uploads in the future. Make sure you check out the Elevating Traders Discord channel, completely free to join. Link at the top of the chat, cannot miss it. Discount opportunities will be available there when we do go live, so make sure you check it out so you don't miss out. But guys, welcome. Good morning, everyone. And good afternoon, depends where you are in the world. Keris, good morning. Brian, good morning. Hope you're well. Holy One, greetings. What is up? Elmi, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Oil, we'll take a look at. No problemo. Blessing, good morning. Hope you're well. Euro USD, dollar yen, we'll take a look. No problem. And Keba, welcome to the stream. 4-hour DXY is kind of retesting resistance. Yeah, we did see some upside for dollar. We'll go through that. Absolutely. Holy One, dollar CAD, CHF both came back to my entry. I closed them both, not getting back either. CAD CHF as well. I thought CAD CHF flew. I thought CAD CHF went to a take profit. We'll go take a look, but not get back in either. I know why they both came back. They broke the H4 ages ago and not getting back in. Okay, fair enough. Learned that lesson. Yeah, I thought CAD CHF you take profit. Yeah, dollar CAD did see some upside. I think that dollar strength just came through, unfortunately. Will, good morning. Hope you're well. Pound USD took a dive. Yeah, pound was absolutely weak this morning. Good morning, Kayvon. Welcome to the stream. I'm not too sure why. I haven't actually looked at the news, to be honest, but pound was just absolutely bricking it this morning. I would assume you had some type of pound news which came out ugly. Yeah, pound PMI, I suppose. It did come out less than expected, but I wouldn't expect such a drop like that. But hey, what do I know? I'm just here just trying to trade the markets. If I get an opportunity, I'm trading it. As to why a currency is strong or weak, I'll let the economists decide that. But yeah, we did have some news in fairness, but yeah, pound has just been so weak. And yeah, it's been interesting. But we'll go through some dollar pairs. I'm still very bearish USD long term. We've been anticipating some USD strength for the time being. I still like pound USD to the upside, just another level I'll be looking at, which we'll go through as well. Oh, damn, didn't get there. Came back to entry. Got it far too low. Okay, wow. Yeah, because CAD CHF was pretty bullish on the stream, so I just assumed it went to your target. But we'll go through some pairs. First up, Elmi asked for oil. So oil, haven't actually looked at it at all. Oh, okay. That might have been that probably why CAD CHF didn't get to the take profit, because oil took a dive. So yeah, with oil, we were discussing this one yesterday. I said if price can hold to this level, I still think it's a nice place for a short, because price is still respecting it from the previous time, is acting as price support there as well. So if the daily is going to hold on to it, it's a great place to look for some entries and place a stop loss above. However, I'm not as confident as I was with the first move in terms of price getting back to the low. We could just be double topping and seeing that move. But I said yesterday, watch out for this area. That could be a nice place to book some profits, maybe trail a break even. It's up to you how you want to manage, but I think that's a sensible place to protect some of the risk. But maybe we are double topping to see that low. So leaving some positions to run back to the area does make sense. But the key thing for me is that we're still rejecting the high at 71.5 as we did last week. So for me, shorts look good at that area. I'll be expecting downside. I like the wicks on the daily chart as well. Price tried to break through in the daily, failed. You can see last time we were here, we put a lovely wick there to the upside. And after that, we got a nice move to the downside. I think fundamentals will impact oil a lot. So it might be a bit of a volatile market to trade at the moment. But in terms of the technicals, it's still at a very comfortable place for a short. Stops above the high. If price does go and break through, then I'll scrap that bearish bias for the time being. Maybe we are going to do something like that and bottom out here. So I can see some opportunities to the upside should we get the break above, but that's not in contention at the moment. Still a solid rejection of the high. So entries yesterday would have been looking good after you see that momentum shift. And then, yeah, expecting to see a push down. But I would say targets around 69. look healthy to me. And then if you can get a break through that, great. But I think that would be a sensible place to book some profits. But yeah, at the time, we're still rejecting that level. So I do see more downside for oil. And yeah, we'll see if oil can see some downside. But that'll be very interesting because, of course, oil was very, very bullish yesterday, which kind of helped CAD stay bullish. And we saw a lot of CAD pairs take some big dives as CAD was stronger than them. But it looks like things have turned around. USD CAD big push up. But then again, dollar was pretty strong yesterday as well. It looks like it's trying to break through that high, which would be very interesting because we had a really nice impulsive break outside of that descending channel. Price was very, very corrective for a number of days, and we finally broke above that. So I was anticipating price to push back to the high. We did it really rapidly. I wasn't expecting that, to be fair, but now that we're at the high, now it's coming to bearish territory again for dollar. So I'm starting to look to anticipate that rollover because, again, I'm still looking for the push into the low here, but maybe price wants to go for a bigger pullback first, which is great because it's meaning all the USD pairs are retracing for me. So entries could be coming around, but I'm looking for something like this. Even if we have a really big push, maybe NFP just shoots us to the moon. I'm happy to be looking at some bigger sells around there as well. Of course, we'll see how things look at euro and pound and the corresponding USD pairs, but that is still very much the move I'm looking at. It's just we're probably going for a bigger retracement at the moment. But yeah, we are trading at resistance. You are correct there. At the moment, it doesn't really look like price is respecting it so well. It's still early doors. This could just end up being a wick and then price closes back below and we see some really nice rejection, similar to what happened with oil yesterday, because at the time during the stream we were breaking above, but then things quickly turned around shortly afterwards. So we could do that with the DXY, the dollar, as well. So I wouldn't say the breakout is there and we're going to push into the next level just yet. But we need to see some signs that things are about to turn around. At the moment, not quite. So keep an eye out for that. If not, if price just breaks above, then the next place I'm looking is around 102.4, 102.5, which is this daily level here. Lovely support previously. Really nice move to the upside. Now I'm looking to see if that can act as resistance for a sell. So if this level doesn't hold, 102.5 is where I'm expecting dollar to push into. But yeah, very, very bullish stuff from dollar. Of course, looking at the dollar pairs, Euro USD took a dive, Pound USD took a big dive. But of course, Pound weakness kind of was the main orchestrator there. I mean, USD started the move, but Pound definitely finished that. New Zealand dollar retracing quite nicely. This one I actually like a lot. It's just, I'm still currently in two positions and I don't want to jump into a third one going to NFP tomorrow because neither of my two positions at the moment are break even. So I don't want to get into a third trade and still just increase my risk going into such a big event. But in terms of technicals, I really like NZUSD. We'll probably go into detail more about that one. But first, let me go through euro and dollar yen for blessing. And we'll take a look at some other pairs. What's up, FX Wolf? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well. The original dollar CAD sell should have been entered excuse me, on the 19th on the H4 break and tank for the days. Okay. What I'm trying to sell again, I don't know. I missed the original H4 break. I shouldn't be in after that. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, of course, the bigger move happened from that 1.36 level on that move there. Looking for entries here, you're looking for the continuation of that. So, I mean, another day it could have played out. Another day it could have played out. So, I don't think it was a bad trade to take. Of course, the better trade would be in at that first high. But, yeah, dollar CAD just didn't play ball there. But anyway, let me go through Euro USD and dollar yen. So Euro USD, very, very close to that low there for some buys. Now, I'm very bullish on Euro as I've been speaking. Two areas I'm looking to take some buys from, or at least interested in buying, is 1.1, that low there on the daily chart, and this high here on the daily chart as well, around 1.094095. So those are the two areas I'm looking to buy from. And I'm literally looking for this trend to continue. We've got these lovely swing lows, 1, 2, 3. I'm looking for that next one, whether it will be at that level or that level. We'll wait and see, but I'm expecting a lot more upside and some higher highs in the near future. So very bullish on euro, just waiting for the time to strike, and I think it's on the horizon. Just need to wait for price to get there. We're still kind of slowly rolling over. I wouldn't say there's anything to do right now until we get to that level, and then we can see how price reacts. If we break through, then I'll move on to the second level just below. But the idea is still very much looking to buy euro. In terms of dollar yen, the yen pairs were very, very bullish yesterday. Unexpectedly, I've been very bearish on the yen pairs, and I still am just about. I haven't changed my bias yet with them, but they've been very, very bullish. Dollar yen was very bullish. Of course, USD strength helped this one out a lot. It's now back at a decent level for a short, though. I do like the downside from this area. As prior support not long ago did hold resistance there as well, 147, and now we're back there again. So I think the shorts look good. In terms of how the 4 hours looking, not much there. The market's still relatively bullish. I need to see a nice bearish engulfing from that area to tell me that the market is holding, and then you can get a nice stop loss above and try and see if you can catch a swing back down again, or at least back to this area. So I'm still very bearish on the yen pairs, but it's in an awkward place right now because if we don't see the yen pairs starting to turn around soonish and they keep still trending higher, I might have to rethink my bias with them. But with dollar yen still at a nice level on the daily chart, so I would anticipate some downside from here. Yeah, I would anticipate some downside from here and a pushback to 140. I would say keep an eye on the price action candlesticks in this area for some opportunities. Maybe we're double topping before a sell. But at the moment, the market looks pretty bullish. So wait for that momentum, that bearish momentum step in. And we could be seeing some nice entries to take that down again. But all in all, still at a nice place for a short. Just need to wait on the entries and the confirmations. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with Euro USD and dollar yen. Pound USD, huge dive to the downside there. Huge dive. But for me, I'm still bullish as long as we maintain the swing low here, because this is the swing low which gave us the high. So as long as price remains above this low, I'm still bullish on pound, still expecting more upside. So with pound USD, if we come back into this area, I think this is still like a really nice place for a long and expecting price to continue. If we were to break through, then maybe we're going for a bit of a reversal, because at that point we're breaking structure, we're seeing lower lows, probably going to anticipate a lower high forming and another lower low. And that's not really what I'm expecting with the USD pairs at the moment. Still expecting them all to kind of keep pushing higher and USD to remain weak. Longer term, of course, it's very strong right now, but I do think we'll turn around pretty soon. So with USD 1.305, that's the new area of interest since this level didn't hold. And you'll see how price reacts when we get there. And yeah, if we can hold that, I think that's a really nice place for a long. Of course, we'll see how we react and if the entries look good. But that is the move I'm looking with pound, because humongous bearish candle, probably going to keep bleeding to the downside. So I wouldn't want to be looking for buys just yet. But if we get to 1.305, that looks interesting to me. So yeah, crazy moves there from pound, crazy moves. But I'm liking how some of the other pairs are shaping up. New Zealand dollar, I really like this one here on the retest of this level here on the daily chart. Looking for that next higher low, higher low, higher high. This is the area where I want to see that next higher low come into play. I think we're pulling into 0.618 almost. So yeah, I'm liking that area for a long. We'll see if we get that turnaround. FX Wolf will go through Euro Yen, no problem. EuroCAD is still holding. Okay, we'll take a look. Kavon, Nvidia, okay. 30-minute time frame, okay. We'll take a look. See as well. Brian, what two positions I'm in? I'm currently short on pound yen and I'm short on Aussie CHF. So pound yen was very, very bullish yesterday, and I thought it was just going to go and take me out the trade, but this morning pound weakness did push price back down again, back underneath the level. So I'm going to hold, see what happens with this one. I'm still very bearish on the yen pairs, so that bias hasn't disappeared yet, and I'm still looking for something like this longer term. But that level there is very, very critical. And since price closed back below, I'm Very interested to see how we resume. If we start breaking back above, things get a little bit choppy. But I think I'll just wait for my stop loss to be hit if it is going to break higher. But yeah, I'm currently in pound yen, which I entered last week, Thursday or Friday. And I'm also in Aussie CHF shorts as well, which isn't going too well too. Still currently in a bit of a drawdown. But the key thing is that we're holding onto that level too. And if we can maintain that high, I will hold for a swing to the low. I'll be trading stops on the way down, but the idea is that I'll probably look to exit the trade down there if we were to get there, of course, because that is a big turning point in the market. So I don't want to try and trail through that, because there's a big chance that the price bounces and wipes some of the profit away. So yeah, currently in Aussie CHF shorts and pound yen shorts, both in drawdown at the moment. So I don't really want to enter third position, which will probably be more or less still at my entry by Friday going into NFP. So I don't want to open myself to too much risk. I've got pretty wide stop losses for both of them, so I'm happy to hold both of them through the news. But a third trade, probably a bit unnecessary, even if I have bigger stop losses. So yeah, I probably won't take a third position until at least one of them get to break even, and then I'll look for more positions. So at the moment, I'm just going to manage them. But yeah, the yen pairs were really, really bullish yesterday, really, really bullish. And they still are looking somewhat bullish too at the moment. And I think pound yen is a bit skewed because of the pound weakness. But looking at the other yen pairs, it's not looking too great. I mean, they're looking like they're coming back to critical highs where they rejected previously. Look at New Zealand yen back at the high there. So again, I'm still anticipating that move, but we do need to reject these areas. If we start breaking through, then maybe my bias was incorrect. So we'll be seeing how those yen pairs unfold. Good morning, UD. Okay, we'll take a look at NAS as well. Euro USD looking good. I agree, Will. I agree. I really do like Euro. Hopefully, you can pick up some longs on the retest of that low or that low there. But the buys are definitely coming to action. Just need to see how far dollar wants to move first. Anyway, I've got a bunch of pairs to go through. So I'll go through Euro Yen, Euro CAD, Nvidia, gold, and NAS. So with Euro Yen for me, again, the bias is still very bearish, but the only place which I'll look to short from would be that 164 area, back at this high there, trying to anticipate another swing to the downside. Because again, I'm looking at this as like a big head and shoulder pattern, as we spoke about yesterday. So you've got the left with the head, and then you've got the right shoulder in that area. I'm looking for us to roll over. So since it looks like all this bearish momentum has kind of just been reversed, big double bottom, and now the market's looking bullish again, to me, it looks like Euro Yen probably will just keep pushing to the upside back to 164, and then we can see what price gives us, because I think that'll be a really nice turning point for us to start looking for some bearish entries. Of course, depends how you want to enter your trades and how you get involved in the market. But for me, that's the turning point I'm looking at. If price starts breaking through that, especially convincingly, then I might scrap that bearish bias and anticipate something like that. But for me, the critical level here is 164. If that remains respected by price, if we don't break through, then the bearish bias remains, and I'm expecting us to collapse back into that low, and in the longer term go a lot further as well. But for now, it looks like that momentum we had last Friday from that big drop has pretty much bottomed out. So at this point, we're probably going to continue higher for the rest of the week, probably back to 164. See what we can do at this level here, and then maybe some sales can step in. But for now, I think intraday level, if you're looking at intraday setups, there's a good chance we do see that push, that swing to the high. So intraday buys might look good there for Euro Yen, and then we can see what 164 gives us. So longer term, still having that bearish bias, but for now, intraday looks like we've got a bit more room to push into before I can start talking about some sells again, at least for Euro Yen anyway. Okay, so next we'll go through EuroCAD. You said you're still holding that trade in Keba from 148.9, and you're looking to target 148.5. 48.9. So that's around here-ish, and you're looking for, oh no, that's your target. Oh no, that's your buy, target 148.5. Wait, how's your target lower than your entry if you're buying? Yeah, I'm confused with the numbers. Maybe I'm just being weird and not reading it correctly, but your target is below your entry. So the maths is not quite math in there. But in terms of what I'm looking at for EuroCAD, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the pair, to be honest, because it's just consolidating. But what I would like for EuroCAD, if it was to break out of this, because the bigger picture, you've pretty much got a bigger range, really. The equal highs, they equal lows. And it looks to me that price is just respecting the high. So if it was to commit to the downside and break through this, for me, that opens up the doors for a big sell, similar to what kind of happened with dollar CAD in terms of we rejected the high, broke out of this, and we saw some more downside. I mean, dollar CAD, maybe not the best example, but we did see some continuations there. So that's kind of what I'll be looking with EuroCAD as well, trying to see that move lower. So I'm not really interested to trade within the range we have here on the 4-hour / daily chart. I'm not really trying to get involved in this area, but if we can break lower, that would be great. And then find some entries to take some continuations. In the meantime, there could be some nice range plays, and you're buying low, selling high. I spoke about a buy into that level there. I think that's a really reasonable target to have. We could see price go a lot higher, but I think booking some profits at that low makes a lot of sense. And seeing if you can have some positions to run makes a lot of sense as well. So that's kind of why we're looking for EuroCAD, since we're doing a pretty good job at holding the low. But yeah, I'm more interested in the bigger move to the downside, which I think is coming soon. Just need to wait for that breakout, and then hopefully the floodgates will open. But it's a nice place for a buy, because I think you said you were in a buy there. So it's a nice place for a long. And I think keep an eye on 1.5 as a target. But in terms of the place for entry, I think it makes a lot of sense there. Okay, let's have a look at NVIDIA. Okay, so the last time I had a look at it was, I think, probably last week at some point. So I said this is a nice place for a short, and we probably could see another push back to the downside because we were putting these previous lower highs in 1, 2, 3, and I said we could put a fourth in that area. We did get price. Oh, that's the daily. What? Why is the 4-hour and daily the same? I don't know. That was weird. So yeah, we came into a nice area, rejected it, and looks like price is on its way back down. So I think in terms of entries, this is really where you want to be looking for your entries up here. Now that price has already made a move down, the entries don't become as clear or as healthy to put a nice stop loss, because let's say if you entered here, your stop loss is above the high, you know, you're in a good place there. If you're putting your stop loss above these highs, it could play out well, but you're a bit more prone to getting, you know, taken out just to see the market move in the direction. So ideally, kind of really want to be in the position here. Maybe something like that could open up for a trade intraday, so I would keep an eye on that. But well and truly, the move I'll be looking for NASDAQ would be a push back down to this area here at 100, big psychological level. We're still maintaining these lower highs. That looks to me like the next one. So I would be expecting a push back into that low. Maybe on an intraday level, the breaking me test there could open up if you're not really in the position up at the high. But 100 is where I do see price pushing, getting to. I think you said the 13-minute chart. So yeah, I would be looking at some breaking retest of the low here or the low here, looking for some entries there for continuation. But yeah, very bearish for this one. Expecting lower prices. So I'd only be looking at shorts for now. Unless we get a big breakout of this, then yeah, maybe we are going to start trending again. But yeah, we're not seeing that at the moment. So still looking for a drop to 100. Excuse the messy drawings there. Let's realize that it looks quite messy but essentially just looking at downside back to 100. Okay, so we'll go back to, okay, we'll take a look at gold. We'll take a look at NAS 100 as well. Tom, yeah, pound definitely did take a dive today. Some comments from the governor of the Bank of England. Okay, that's probably what was going on as well. I mean, we did have some news earlier today. I think, was it PMI or something like that, which did come out lower than expected, but I wouldn't expect to see such a big reaction like that off the back of a news like that. But yeah, very bearish stuff from Aussie. I mean, from pound. Okay, so we'll go take a look at gold, NAS 100 next. Okay, so with gold, I haven't actually been looking at gold too much because it's just not really in an area of interest for me. You know, this is the area I want to buy from. So until we get closer to those levels, I'm not going to really look at gold, at least for my personal trading anyway. But in terms of my bias, though, yeah, it's very bullish still. I wouldn't do anything with gold other than look to buy right now. I said yesterday, this low here could look like a nice place for a buy, stop loss underneath the low. Yeah, if it does hold, we could just be looking at like a bigger kind of bull flag correction to a degree, and then a continuation. If not, then maybe we are coming back to this area or maybe this area for a buy. So that's where my eyes will light up. But at the moment in time, I'm kind of just looking at a bigger correction now for gold because to be fair, we've been really, really bullish. So it's probably due a bigger pullback at this point in time. And in terms of finding entries, yeah, you're looking at that low, or we might dip slightly below. But generally speaking, this is the point of interest. And then, yeah, back to highs. And then I have drawn out the 2700 as a nice area for a target because that's the next psychological level and it could attract price there as well. But yeah, looking at more upside for gold for the time being. Hopefully maybe this afternoon we roll over, look for some entries there and then take it back up. But yeah, very, very bullish for gold. Is anyone trading gold at the moment? Did you miss out on gold? Yeah, I think if gold can see a bit more downside, there's an opportunity there. But gold can just break out whenever it wants. So maybe. Anyway, we'll go through NAS next. Oh, okay, you did take the USD kind of sell. Nice little 35 pips to check my history. We're getting trades now, anyone? Good morning, Godfrey. Welcome to the stream. Please, oil and the DAX. Okay, we'll go through, no problem. First, let me just head over to NAS. So NAS surprised me yesterday with some downside. Because originally with NAS, I was looking for price to have that breaking test on the high and just continue back to 2700. So that was the plan originally with NAS, but of course that didn't play out with that candle there breaking back below. That kind of scrapped that play for me. But since then, from an intraday level, I like the shorts. I was talking about some shorts on the retest, which we kind of did see yesterday. Haven't really set the world alight, but we have seen a bit of downside there. And again, with NAS, I'm still bullish long term. I'm still looking for us to get to the high, but because we're having trouble there, I don't think now's the time to be looking to buy. If price comes a lot lower, we can speak about the buys again, but for now, this is kind of bearish territory for me. So I do think we can drop still with NAS. So maybe if we push up one more time, there could be some nice entries this afternoon, and then we might see some follow through, potentially back to some of these areas where we got a nice pool of wicks there. Let me just use the rectangular tool. There we go. So we've got a nice pool of wicks here. We could be attracted towards. Yeah, at some point in time, we do have NFP as well, so I have to take that into consideration. But for now, price has been pretty consistent with the lower highs. We had a big failure to retest and continue when we were above that level. So now that we had the strong break, I'm now looking for us to kind of just continue that momentum lower, something like that. So yeah, NAS pretty bearish. I think when we go take a look at US 30 and S&P, I think I do have the same bias with those as well, at least for the immediate price action anyway. Long term, yeah, still bullish, but I do think we can go for a bit of a retracement period with the indices at the moment. So yeah, looking at something like that and then some shorts. Okay, so we'll go through oil quickly and the DAX. So oil, as I mentioned earlier, I think so. Oh, look at that. Oil's coming right back up. That means CAD is gaining some strength again. So yeah, oil had a really nice rejection of the high there. So entries looked good for this one yesterday after that really nice bearish engulfing on the hourly. I said stops above the high look good as long as price can remain below that level. You're expecting price to dip. If price is going to break above the high, then yeah, the level's not going to hold and probably will look to reevaluate that bias. But for now, if you're looking to get involved with oil, since we're still at the level, now you're looking to see if price can reject it again. Because if it comes there again, it rejects it again, you can still look for that same similar stop loss with a similar entry with similar targets as well. Of course, if oil's just going to bulldoze it straight through, then the sells are not there anyway. And then we can probably speak about some buys if we break above and get something like that. But for now, since oil is really bullish at the moment, trying to push back into that same level, you can see on the daily chart, we've done pretty well at rejecting that area on a couple of occasions. So if we are going to hold this, we want to see some signs in the low time frames that we are rejecting. So we're looking for our bearish engulfings or wicks in this area to take that to the downside. So keep an eye on that level for oil. Just because we're bullish now doesn't mean we can't turn around as well. So don't want to read too much into that. But for now, still a solid level. Let's see what type of price action we can get. If price breaks through, like I said, I'll reanalyze and maybe we'll be talking about some buys tomorrow or next week sometime. This is still bearish territory for me. Still expecting a drop there. And in terms of targets, obviously the low looks good if we're going to get that full swing, but I'll keep an eye on this low here as well. I think that's a nice place to book some profits or at least trail a stop loss, just to watch out for some turnarounds. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with oil. But I think oil's going to be a bit volatile in the near future. So you watch out with that. But it's going to be interesting because if oil is going to be strong, that does mean CAD's going to be strong as well. And I want to look to buy New Zealand CAD, which might be a bit tricky. But then again, I'm not looking to enter any new positions at the moment. And pound CAD dropped heavy as well yesterday. I mean, today. Big drop there. Okay, so we'll go quickly through the DAX. In Keba, Aussie CAD on a buy at 0.92647. Target 0.93583. Okay, I'll take a look at that Aussie CAD. I'm bullish on that one as well, actually. Ascending channel on the 4 hour. Okay, we'll take a look. Jojibu, welcome to the stream. I'm waiting for a clear signal like a breakup before I make a decision to enter gold. I think that's the best thing to do. Wait for your setups to fully align before entering. No problem. UD, happy to help. Gemma, what is up? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're good. So yeah, we'll take a look at the DAX and then I'll move into Aussie CAD. So in terms of the DAX, last time I had a look at this guy, he was flying, breaking through the all-time high. And now it looks like it's retracing. So with the DAX, coming back into this area here, will it hold? Will it hold? Will we see price retain it and continue high? I think we will. I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, I would be very bullish. I mean, again, looking at the higher time frames, the market's trending, higher in pretty much all of them. Healthy price action as well. I like the retracement. It's really corrective as well. We are coming back into a 4 hour high here, so it could react there, but I'd rather look to see if we can get that daily low, that daily high. Sorry, find some entries there and see if we can take it back to the high and beyond. But in terms of the DAX, I would still be pretty bullish with this one. I'm just looking at that downside move there as just a retracement, market pulling back, finding its feet before continuing. I'll be looking at some entries in these areas really. So between 19K and 18,900, it will be the area I'm anticipating the DAX to find its feet and possibly continue back to the highs. And if we're lucky, probably a lot further as well. But yeah, the DAX for me, I'll still say I'm pretty bullish on. Let me know your bias, what you're looking to do with the DAX. In my book, I would only be looking to sell it. I mean, only looking to buy it, sorry. Until maybe we break underneath this area, then I would say, okay, maybe alarm bells are ringing, because that might turn into a big fake out. And maybe we see something like this happen. So if we come straight below, then yeah, that would be a little bit, yeah, that wouldn't be great for the buyers. But for now, we're still above it, so looking for those reversals back to the high. Okay, so we'll go take a look at Aussie CAD for Nkeba. So you've got a position there. Dev, what's up? Morning. I'm doing good. Hope you're well as well. I know you hate the pair, but no, I mean, I don't hate the pair. Hate's a strong word. I dislike the pair. But yeah, we'll take a look at Euro Pound. Yeah, I know, massive reaction. I actually forgot to comment on that. Of course, with Pound being very, very weak, and actually Euro being not strong, but somewhat strong. That's been a recipe for explosion for Euro Pound. You know, huge rocket there. I mean, Euro Pound is in an area where we could see price action like this. It's just didn't happen precisely what I wanted it to. I said 0.83, which is probably about like 5 pips below that wick there. Yeah, we are in this massive monthly, weekly zone here where we could, you know, the wicks are already forming in the monthly. So we're in an area where it makes sense, where a lot of buyers will be coming into the market, definitely higher time frame buyers as well, because this is definitely not a level to mess around with. And we're seeing a huge reaction there. So yeah, I think rightly so. We're seeing that reaction. It makes sense based on where we're trading. I don't think there's a lot to do now, though. Now that we've seen that, I wouldn't look to try and fade that move. I wouldn't, try not to sell that. It will probably retrace, as you expect, such a big candle like that. Almost a bit weird. No bottom wick, just flying. So it will retrace, but I wouldn't look to try and short it. I think if we come up to some prices up here, we might put lower high in. So some sales could look good again, maybe as we approach this area up here, around 0.85, and we might look to put another one of these lower highs in. That could come around. That could be a nice short, but I wouldn't look for the breaking retest in these areas anymore, because number one, a level's got to be strong, but number two, the way price gets there's also got to make sense as well. If it's just absolutely flying and not moving correctly, there's not a high chance that we're going to get that bounce we're looking for. So I wouldn't look to short at these areas anymore. I think for Euro Pound, we'll probably see a bit of retracement and price will probably continue up higher. But shorts up here could look good. We might put that next lower high in, and that could be a nice turning point for us to come back down in again. But yeah, really big push there with Euro Pound. Yeah, insane move, really. Insane move. Okay, so we'll go through Aussie CAD and Pound CAD as well for you in Keba. Still holding Pound CAD okay from the short you said yesterday. Target 1.769. It must be very close to that target. Holy one rubbish week, made nothing this week. Everything's messing about. It happens, my man. It happens. I'm pretty sure you had a good week last week, so maybe this week is just keeping you humble, keeping you in check. But yeah, every week's going to be a good week, and of course, not every week's going to be a bad week as well. I mean, I bet some people are having some really tough weeks. I mean, for me, I haven't closed out on loss, but both my trades are in drawdown. But even if you're having an awful week, not every week's going to be awful as well. That's the thing about the markets. You could do the exact same thing as you did last week, but then the outcome will be different. But yeah, Hopefully next week could be a lot better. We've got NFP on Friday, so the market will have a nice reaction. Hopefully things will set for next week as well. And we just see some nice momentum and some nice trends. It's kind of what I'm banking on. In terms of Aussie CAD, so Aussie CAD, I actually do like Aussie CAD. I think there's still more upside for Aussie CAD back to 0.94. There's a pretty big level up here. So there's a pretty big level up here, which I'm looking for us to get into. You can see we're kind of moving this ascending format with these higher highs and higher lows. I've mapped out two areas where I like the buys from for Aussie CAD. So the area we're trading in right now, the retest of the high, and the area just below us around 0.92 on the retest of this high. So these are the two levels I'm expecting Aussie CAD to see a bounce from and continue this momentum back to the 0.94 targets on the weekly time frame. At the moment, everything is still pretty bearish, so I wouldn't go in guns blazing trying to look to buy Aussie CAD right now. It's at a nice level, yes, but I have no indication that price is going to hold this. And for all I know, price could definitely break through. But yeah, those are the two levels I'll be looking at: 0.925, 0.92, and just seeing if we can see some rejection, and that could invite me into a trade. But yeah, I am pretty bullish on Aussie CAD, looking for that swing. Again, at least a swing back to the high makes sense there. But we'll see which level holds. I like how price is moving into that level. It's a bit corrective now. So maybe something like that could develop over the next 24 hours and might see the buy early tomorrow. But yeah, I do think Aussie CAD is in a nice place for a long. Hopefully we can see price push past that high there as well. And New Zealand CAD in a similar situation. We'll take a look at that in a moment. But if that doesn't hold, we'll look at 0.92 next. And hopefully we can see a really big swing. I'll take a look at pound CAD. Yeah, pound CAD's bleeding. Bleeding. So I can say, but I don't think it's smart to short after a massive push like that. But it's short in the 4 hour, 0.84351 for stop loss at 0.84693, take profit. Okay, looks good. Okay, I'll run that back in a moment. Let me just go through pound CAD. So yeah, with pound CAD, where's your target in Keba? Your target is 1.8. No, 1.769, 769. Okay, your target is just at the low here, roughly. So it's probably just a few pips away. Yeah, I mean, with a candle that big, there's a very, very high chance that will probably spill over and hit your target. There's a very low chance that price is just going to bottom here and completely just push to the upside. Of course, anything can happen, which is why we manage our risk. But, I find it very, very difficult to see price just turning around here and not coming back down. It might push up for 2-3 candlesticks before coming down. That's a possibility as well. I find it really difficult not seeing price get here. So I think you're looking at take profit there on your pound CAD. Hopefully that can happen pretty soon. But there's just so much momentum there. So yeah, we'll probably come and smash it. So yeah, congrats on that pound CAD position. Let me have a look at that euro pound idea you've got cooking up there, Dev. So H4 at 0.84351. 84351. That's more or less there. Stop loss 0.84693. 4693. More or less there. So above the high there, I suppose. And targets 0.83717. 37. More or less around there. Looks good. I like it. I like it because in terms of the stop loss, I think you're giving yourself a chance to catch that swing if it's going to happen. Of course, price could just storm straight through, but if we are going to respect the high there, because this effectively is our last major swing point in the market, that's our low, lower high, lower low. So effectively, we could still respect that structure and continue back down. as long as price doesn't break that high. So I think in terms of where you're trading from, in terms of the entry, in terms of the stop loss, more importantly, I like where it is. I like where it is. Euro pound's just a dodgy pad. I don't know why you like trading it, Dev. I don't know why you like trading it, but I think in terms of the entry and the stop loss, I like it. Targets, I like it as well. We're not going for anything too crazy as well. I mean, I focus more on support and resistance. So if I was putting a take profit, I'd probably line it up with this low here. Or if I was being a bit optimistic, than that high there, I mean, which is pretty much in the same place as where your take profit is anyway. But yeah, that's the only thing I would probably change, is have a target at the low there. But I like it, most importantly because of the where the stop loss is. You're respecting that high, respecting that market structure, and at least you're giving some time for the market to fizzle out a little bit. Because yeah, the current momentum is very, very strong. So shorting that at the moment would be very optimistic. But yeah, I like the stop loss placement, I have to say. But yeah, we'll see with euro pound. I think that lower high will come. If it doesn't come from where you're shorting it, maybe price wants to push a little bit higher. There's a big level here, so maybe shorts around there could look good. So if you do get stopped out, it's not necessarily saying that the idea is wrong. Just maybe you just got in a bit too early. So be prepared to short again a little bit higher up, I would say, if you do get stopped out, of course. But I like it. I like it for euro pound. Potter's TV, what's up? Gold, okay. Yeah, with gold, the buys are still there. But I would want price to come a little bit lower, around 26.30 before taking up a long. I do think price is going to get back to the highs, see some new highs, and get back to 2,700 or get to 2,700. We haven't been there before, but I do think it's just onwards and upwards with gold. Just my question is, how far will gold pull back before we do see the new high? That's my thinking. So it's not about where can I find some reversals. I'm not interested in that. Of course, if things change and some obvious signs change that the market is about to reverse, I'm not going to ignore that. But at this moment in time, there is absolutely none of that. I'm just looking at this as a bigger pullback and expecting price to rip higher again. So this is where longs look good, around 26.30. I also like this area here around 25.90, 25.89. So those are the two areas I would keep an eye out for. But yeah, I'm expecting us breaking up higher. I think someone mentioned earlier looking for the breakout as well. Maybe some entries in the breakout could be smart given the condition of the market. We're seeing a lot of momentum. We kind of did it over here. Catch a nice breakout there. Off we go. Maybe another breakout, entry in that candle closure. Off we go. That could be a nice way to tackle it as well. But generally speaking, looking to try and catch that next high low for some more upside. I think where my focus is more is with silver, because silver, we still haven't really got going yet with silver. So I like it in terms of its upside potential. I think it's very similar to gold in terms of if this one gets going, it's going to really get going. We're nowhere near our all-time highs, and I expect silver to get there at some point in time. No idea when, but I expect to get there some point in time. So I like it in terms of the buys. If you can get a strong break at the high there, I'll be looking for some retest. Same with this area here as well. So yeah, I'm just trying to find that next high low on silver. And those two areas are my areas of interest for now. So hopefully you can find some longs above 3.23 and 30. I mean 32.3, sorry, and 30. Those are my two levels which look good, and you have to wait patiently. But then again, like I said, I have to get these positions to break even first, or just be stopped out of them if they don't go my way before I can look to take another trade, especially with NFP on the horizon, which I will be doing a separate stream for, by the way, as well. So if you guys want to watch NFP with someone and you're going to be lonely this NFP, join in to the stream. We'll go through it, and I'll probably be in two positions whilst it's happening, so it'll be extra fun. Holy One. Oh, so it did come to take profit, but it came back to my entry, so I may have missed it by 4 pips and didn't notice it. Oh, wow. Damn, that is unfortunate. And didn't know till I heard my alarm this morning telling me back at my entry. Wow. Yeah, because I remember. I mean, I can't remember specifically where you had your take profit. All I remember is that you said your targets were around the high here. So I don't know. It might have missed it by a few pips or something. Maybe your take profit was like 0.632. So yeah, you might have just missed it. Yeah, by those 4 pips. But for me, I just thought your take profit was just at that high. So I just imagine it did. But yeah, that's unfortunate. That is really unfortunate. And again, that's the market for you. It can be unforgiving like that sometimes. Very unforgiving like that. Because there's nothing much more you could do there. You know, that 4 pips is not down to your ability as a trader. It's just down to the trading, really. You know, sometimes you're just lucky and the price will hit your take profit to the pip and then reverse, and you feel like you're on cloud nine. And sometimes it'll miss it by 4 pips, and it'll be a bit of a bummer. But I think in terms of staying consistent, it's just about riding those kind of swings of the market and not let them affect you, because something like that, missing a trade by 4 pips, can easily drive a trade to tilt and then go take some stupid trades or hold into some trades that they shouldn't hold on to or whatever. But staying consistent and true to the plan, I think that's where you'll find consistency in your trading. Of course, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's necessary. In Keba, okay, you're just very active in the markets in Keba. You've always got something brewing up, or you're in a trade. Okay, Euro USD still holding since yesterday. Okay, you're gonna sell for Euro? I think you did mention a sell, didn't you? Okay, I'll have a look. Euro pound is the way. When I did the fund challenge, I saw my strategy had the most successful rebound. Okay, wow. Of course, if it works, no need to change it. Caught the short down last week, so good in profit. I mean, again, that's the thing about trading. It's so kind of flexible and tailored to whoever is trading. And some people might find really good success with Euro pound. Some others might not. And the thing about trading is also what I learned as well, which is a big lesson, is if something's not working, you don't necessarily need to make it work if you have something that is already working. Because, at least for me, from my experience, something could be working well and then something might not be working well. And I'll keep trying forcing the thing that isn't working well. So I'll be losing money doing that, but then making money doing the thing that is working well, it'll cancel out and then just be break even. Whereas if I just ignored the thing I was not doing well and just focused on what I was doing well, then you got yourself a very profitable equity curve. And it comes back to that kind of 80-20 rule. 80% of your profits come from 20% of your actions or 20% of your trades. If you can find that 20 and just capitalize on it, you're in a good place. You don't need to be an expert in everything. If Euro pound's going to pay the bills, then Euro pound it is. Okay, no more setups now. Aussie New Zealand dollar still not come back. GJ buy and need a drop with a pullback. So really, it's all about pullbacks. If there are no trades, so a spectator now. Yeah, that's going to be the reality as well. Sometimes you're going to be active, like in Keba. Sometimes you're going to be sitting on the sidelines. I think maybe NFP tomorrow is going to get the ball rolling with a few opportunities, because that's really how I view NFP. Really, of course, it's a big economic event, but to me, it's just a catalyst to get the market rolling, get the market moving, and it's a good event to set trends and set direction. Sometimes you can have NFPs that set the trend to the next NFP, which is really, really nice, because till then you're kind of just looking for your pullbacks, which is kind of what Holy One, the predicament Holy One is in. So Yeah, stay patient. I mean, we're coming to the end of the week anyway. It's Thursday already, believe it or not. Then we have Friday tomorrow, and then we're back in again on Monday. So if it isn't your week, no need to try and force it and make it your week. Some weeks are just not meant to be your week, and there's nothing wrong with that either. Anyway, let's go take a look at that euro position that you mentioned. Still holding at 1.1. 1.10482, 1.10482. Okay, that's around here. And your target is 1.10124. Okay, so more or less at that low I've marked out. What's your stop loss? 1.105 on the dot? No, 80. It's up here. Interesting. So you're going for a little intraday position. I like you. You go through quite a wide range in Keba. You go through a quite wide range of setups. Like you can look for your monster trades, like your Euro Pound one, which could take like 6 months to play out, and then you look for the short trades, which could take like a few hours. Yeah, in terms of this one, I have to say in terms of the direction, I expect us to get there 1.100, 1.101. I'm expecting us to get there, but I have to say I'm not a big fan of how we're moving. We're quite corrective, which means that we could do something like that before we get lower. If this was trending well and just having these kind of, let me draw that over here, having these kind of corrections like that, and that's a really nice trending market to get involved with. When we start being corrective, I tend to stay away because that's more of a sign that we're about to reverse soon, which is good because I'm looking for us to reverse at this level. So the fact that it's corrective actually plays into my hand pretty well, because if we can keep this up, I'm expecting us to shoot off that level. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for now, I think there's a good chance we get there. I'm expecting us to get there. It's just, will we get there before taking out your stop loss and respect that stop loss potentially? Potentially, the market's a bit choppy now, so I'm not too sure if the ride will be smooth. But I like the idea. You're looking for that scalp there, or day trade, and I'll expect us to get to that low. So I like in the direction. Just we may stop out before that, and then again, even if you do get stopped out, price may push a little bit higher. You can look for some entries higher up, if there are some that fit your plan, of course, and take advantage of that sell if it doesn't play out. But yeah, I do think we get there. So I like where your targets are, and this is the area I'm looking for a big buy. So for your sake and for mine, I hope the trade does play out, because these are the setups I'm looking at. Of course, probably not exact risk reward profiles. Probably have bigger stop losses than that. And I probably won't enter exactly at the level, but that's where I'm looking to turn around from. How's the dollar looking? Oh, look at that from the DXY. Looks like it's, I mean, I wouldn't say it's broken through yet, but it's doing a pretty good job of trying to do that. Looking really strong there. Do you have any USD news this afternoon? Okay, we do have jobless claims at 1:30. We do have PMI for CAD as well. That'd be interesting. Then we've got some more news at 3 o'clock, PMI for USD. So a bit of news today. See how that affects the market. Of course, the main one's tomorrow. And I will be live again with Trader Nick on his channel later today. So if you guys are free, watch out for that stream as well. That's true. That's true. It gives you all your setups at once, can't hop into 15 trades. After they have no trades today, everything's moved at the same time. True. That's true as well. I've noticed that a lot of markets set up at the same time. For example, the AUD currency pairs were set up at the same time. Euro currency pairs were set at the time. Dollar pairs were set up at the same time. When I'm looking for these buys on euro, I'm looking for these buys on pound, on NZUSD. All the buys were set up roughly around the same time, maybe 24 hours apart. Because of course different strengths will come into play. But if these guys are going to make the move I want them to make, which is something like that, which is something like that, which is something like that for pounds, if they're going to make those moves, they're all going to be together. It's not pounds going to do it like 4 weeks in advance or whatever. So you're definitely right there, especially from a swing point of view as well, intraday as well, but definitely from a swing. These swings will all set up at the same time, which I find is actually a really good confidence for a trade, really, because if I'm looking to buy like pound USD and euro still looks pretty bearish and NZ USD still looks pretty bearish and Aussie dollar still looks pretty bearish, then maybe pound isn't ready to go just yet. But if I'm about to buy pound and euro looks like it's about to turn, Aussie looks like it's about to turn, New Zealand dollar looks like it's about to turn, dollar CHF looks like that's about to turn as well. So if all the USD pairs are looking like they're about to turn, then you got yourself a not guaranteed trade, but you got yourself a better chance of catching that reversal than if they weren't lining up as well. So I like it when it does happen. Of course, it means that you can't take all the trades, but if you got a winner, you can't really complain, can you? But then if it doesn't play out, then of course you have to wait again. These were going into the third top. Yes, it is coming back to that high. I mean, we're going to see if prices are going to break through this or not, because this could be a turning point for dollar. It could be a turning point for dollar, and it could mean that euro's getting ready to turn, New Zealand's ready to get into turn. New Zealand dollar's already in a really nice place for a buy for me. So if this starts putting bullish engulfings, I wouldn't trade it because of the trades I'm in, but if I wasn't in any trades, I would happily look to take a buy here with NZUSD. As I've said, as long as price doesn't break out this low, I'm bullish on NZUSD. I'm expecting us to fly, really. So if you can see some nice turning, some nice signs that the price is rejecting and about to turn around, I think that's a phenomenal place to get long. Of course, DXY will play its part. It needs to start rejecting this area. It looks like it's trying to break through, but I'm not going to read too much into that. I need to wait for those candle closures, and I need price to really be breaking through for me to consider that. We could still close slightly above it, then still turn around as well. Market's not perfect, but yeah, we are looking really bullish. We are coming into that high for a third time. We'll see if we'll reverse or if price will get that breakout above it. What's up, Anis? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well, bro. Hope you're well. You're still keeping an eye on NAS? I remember you mentioned yesterday something about NAS. Or were you waiting for NFP? NAS was a little bit bearish yesterday. Same with US 13 and S&P. They're all a little bit corrective, but I do expect them to see a more downside. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how these guys get going. But really, for me, I'm just going to be focused on managing my trades. I also quite like Swiss yen as well. I would like Swiss yen for a short, but I'm not going to short it because I'm already shorting pound yen. Anis waiting for waiting for NFP. Fair enough. Took 1L, 1W this week, up 0.5. Not bad. Can't complain. Can't complain if you're in profit. Even when you're negative as well, as long as you've done the right actions. But yeah, waiting for NFP is probably a good call, to be honest, because the market, although it's been a little bit bearish this week, is a bit flat at the same time as well. For NAS, it is a little bit flat. So probably we're going to see some momentum come into the market on NFP, and then there could be some really nice shorts maybe afterwards or early next week, kind of riding that momentum. I'm hoping NFP can kind of set a trend for us for the next month for October. But yeah, I really like Swiss yen to the downside. I mean, the price action not great. It's just kind of left the big wick to the downside, which is not good. If that wick, excuse me, if that wick was going the opposite direction, that'd be very, very nice. But we could fill the wick, but I need us to at least fill the wick before I could consider that as a nice entry. But yeah, effectively for CHF JPY, this is the thing about the yen pairs. They've been very, very bullish, but they've moved into areas where these are critical turning points. For pound yen, we're back at the high, which I was shorting from last week. With New Zealand yen, we're back at this high here. CAD yen, I think we're back at a big high there as well. Euro yen, well, not there yet, but maybe we're on our way there. And for Swiss yen, we're back at a really big high there too. So if price is going to break through this and do something like that, then yeah, I probably got the bias wrong. Probably. We could do a fake out and come right back in. So that's a possibility. But if we definitely start putting some higher lows and continuations, then yeah, I've probably got that wrong, and probably Swiss yen and the rest of the yen pairs are going to make their ways back to the high there. But if we don't do that and we respect the high here, then I'm expecting a pretty big swing back to the low and a lot, beyond that as well. So I think in terms of the risk to reward, this is a really nice area for a short, because if you can get a stop loss above the high, entries roughly in that area, you're looking at a pretty big trade back down to that low, roughly 600 pips roughly. If you can get yourself even 100 pip stop loss for a 600 pip target, looking at a 1 to 6, which is phenomenal return on a trade if you ask me. So yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing here with Swiss yen because of where we're trading. We got some really nice areas. There's a long way to go. If I have a look at the Japanese index, see how that one's cooking up. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we came back into the high. We rejected it. So if we can maintain that and do something like that, that'll be brilliant. Because this is the area I'm expecting price to hold really, and expecting a move down. So we are holding it as long as we can maintain that. The seller's still on. If we break through, then yeah, probably in the wrong direction. But we'll see. We'll see. Long way to go. What's up, Tony Gold? Welcome to the stream. Hope you're well, my man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's bearish or bullish for DXY long term, bro? Do you think we're going to take the low of last year? Good question. Very, very bearish. Very, very bearish for DXY long term. I've been bearish for quite a while, and for the long term foreseeable future, I think dollar has got a long way to go. Basically, I'm looking at dollar in this kind of context. Let me move this across. So basically, I'm looking at dollar putting another high in like we did over here. Oh, did not mean to do that. Another high like we did over here. I'm trying to anticipate that high there being something similar to that high. And the fact is, we had this range. The market broke the range, and now it's kind of dancing back and forth. And to me, it looks like price is kind of consolidating here before it likely is going to commit to the downside. So I do think all of this open space here is going to be filled at some point. Of course, this is very much longer term. This is the monthly chart. That could take 12 months for us to get there. So longer term bias. I do think the bigger move is probably going to be to the downside for the dollar. In terms of the current range we got now and last year's low, which is pretty sure it's this point here. Yeah, July 2023. I do think we'll get to that low. But we might be going through a bigger pullback at some point first before we do see that continuation. I've marked out this area here around 102.5. I've also marked out this area here at 104. Should we go for a really big pullback? But I do think this low will be taken out by the end. I don't want to set a date on it, but I do think there's a good chance we'll probably take that low by the end of the year. So I'm very bearish on USD long term. For now, we're pretty bullish, and rightly so. We're coming off a pretty big low here. You can see big turning events in the market. We've seen a lot of upside from here, and the market has had a pretty big drop as of late. So I think that retracement is needed. But when we start coming to these areas, I do think we'll top out and make our way down and eventually tick off that low and a lot further as well. So pairs like Euro USD, I'm waiting for a really big buy on that one. Pound likewise as well. New Zealand dollar, looking for a big turning event there. Aussie dollar, I'm looking for this to turn around at those areas. Dollar CAD, I think we're coming back to this low longer term as well. Dollar CHF's a bit of an awkward one. But yeah, generally speaking, I think there's a lot of room for the dollar pairs to move into. And even looking at these guys in the monthly charts as well, it looks like Aussie dollar to me is bottoming out. So I do think Aussie dollars are getting ready for something like that longer term. So yeah, I like the swings to the upside for these USD pairs, and I do think USD will be bearish. Because the way I look at my analysis is more with the high time frames. I try to create that bias, and then I scale down to trade that bias, which is why I don't really change my bias as often as I used to, because I'm trying to cement the bias and then just keep taking trades in that direction until proven otherwise, and just expecting the risk reward to play out, especially if using trailed stop loss. If I'm in the right direction and the trend is going to move that way, then I just want to be trying to maximize every trade I can. But for now, that's kind of where I'm at with the USD pairs. So for Aussie dollar, if I pull back to here, I think that's a solid buy into that area there. New Zealand dollar, win an area for a solid buy as well. Pound, we're not too far off an area for a nice buy. Same with euro as well. Do you think we're going to take the low last year? Just answer that. So yeah, I do think we're going to take that low. Not sure when though, because we might go through a prolonged retracement. Like this could take a whole month or two on the way up. So don't get me wrong either. There probably will be some really nice buys. I'm not just bearish, expect the market to absolutely fall out of the sky. I do think there'll be really nice buys and really nice bullish trends, whilst it's going on. So there will be some really nice opportunities to take advantage of dollar strength, and I probably will look for some opportunities. But at the moment now, I'm just looking to try and fade this move here. So yeah, if I can get some nice buys and I can at least get one of my trades to break even, I will entertain it, especially with NFP on the horizon as well. Because actually what I'm kind of hoping for NFP really is to see more dollar strength really from NFP, even though I'm pretty bearish in USD, because if we see more dollar strength, that might take us a bit in the bullish trend. And I think the drop is going to be even more spectacular really if we keep pushing up. So, and then that will set up euro really well for me, pound really well for me as well. New Zealand dollar might pull back a little bit deeper, but I'm fine with that. Same with Aussie, might pull back to here maybe. But the idea is that as long as we maintain this bullish structure, don't break through this low here, don't break through this low here, don't break through this low here, and euro, don't break through the low down there, I'm looking to take these guys up higher. So yeah, that's kind of what I'll be looking at. And again, since I've been more busy with sourcing out elevating traders, I've kind of scaled my trading to slightly higher time frames as well. Before I was mainly focused on the hourly, not focused on the hourly in terms of the analysis. I'll still look at higher time frames for my analysis, but in terms of entries and managing trades and targets, that'll be more driven on the hourly time frame. Now I've kind of just got rid of the hourly. I'm looking at the 4 hour and above for entries, targets, management. And I'm using a bit more of the monthly chart now as well, which is helping me out because it means I don't have to be as present on the markets as I used to be, which means it gives me a bit more time to work on other projects. But it also means that I'm looking for these bigger swings now, and I will create a bias, and I probably won't switch in that bias for maybe a whole 3-6 months potentially. I mean, I've had this bearish bias for USD pretty much since the start of the year, but of course I've taken advantage of some of the moves up as well because there's been some nice trends, but I do think we'll continue falling. It's just about now looking to trade that bias and staying patient as well, because it's taken some time. Because I did get into a buy here for euro a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, I was trailed out after the interest rate just by a pip, really. But then again, I probably would have been traded out anyway, maybe around here. So didn't save too much. But hopefully now I can get the better trade, better entry, and then let's take it back to the high. Is anyone in any positions at the moment? I know a few people looking to trade gold. I think now's the time before NFP tomorrow. Scratch that itch before NFP. I mean, I'm currently sitting in pound yen, which has been really hectic to hold, I have to admit. You know, started off with nice momentum in my direction, then it went against me, then it went for me, then it went against me. Now we just saw some absolute madness from pound, and we've seen a nice pushback below that level, so things are looking a little bit better, but still a long way to go if it's going to play out. So I'm just going to sit tight with pound yen, really manage that one. Aussie CHF hasn't really been moving that well, to be honest. I did get into the trades on Tuesday, straight away pushed up against me, but we're still respecting that level, which is the key thing, really. And my stop loss is above it with some wiggle room. Looks like we came back up, respect that level again. We're looking a tad bearish now. Still a little bit of a drawdown, but the key thing is we're still holding on to that high. So hopefully we can pick up some pace and get a bit of a drop there. And then hopefully we can get to the lows there again. Looking at nice 1 to 3 roughly back to that low. So when these positions can come to break even, at least one of them can come to break even, then I'll look to try and find another position if the position is there. I'm not going to try and just jump into another trade, but if there is another trade, I'm happy to take it. And depending on how NFP plays out as well, because I probably will be in both trades in NFP. So we got double the trouble, as we mentioned before. Okay, UK 100 scalp on the 1 minute time frame. Wow. Not too sure if I've looked at the NAS on the 1 minute before, but there's a first for everything, I guess. What's the plan with the 1 minute scalp? Take a sell off the high. Back to some of these areas. I think that makes sense. Come back into a nice low there. The market's found a lot of trouble breaking through. Take a short at the high, stops above there. I think that's a solid idea. Let me know what you're looking at, but yeah, damn. I don't know how you guys trade in the 1 minute time frame. You're braver traders than me. I have to give you that. There's just too much going on in a short space of time, especially when money's involved as well. That's the one blessing I think swing trading has, and why it's attractive, is because it's slow and it gives you time to decide. But if you're good at making decisions quickly and under pressure, then you can probably thrive with a 1 minute time frame. But yeah, I like my time, I'm afraid. Ken, okay, your NASDAQ buys at the moment, okay. Where's your target for that position? Do you have a target, or you might be trailing? But yeah, what's the plan with that trade? You looking to take it back to the high? You looking around the high over here, around 19,800? What's the plan with that trade? Because I'm pretty bearish on NAS, but of course I would want to see a push up higher first before expecting some downside. Because right now we're coming back into some major support. There's a bunch of wicks here. Yeah, now's not the time to be looking to sell. Target to the highs. So either the high there or the high there, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at the high over there, there's a few obstacles in your way before you get there. So I'd imagine maybe some partials you're looking at on the way up, ways to manage the trade. Or at least sort of the break even at some point. If you look at the high there, I think you're in a good place. I think there's a pretty high chance we do get to that level there anyway. And I think that's a nice place for a short as well. So could be a nice buy to sell sort of thing. But long term, I'm pretty bearish. I mean, pretty bullish on NAS. I think the sells are temporary, and just as the market is retracing. So I am really bullish on NAS, and I do think longer term we're going to go right back to 2060, 2600. I do think we're going to run all the way to the highs at some point, but maybe price wants to go through a bit of a move down first before we make that move. Something similar to what we did over here, or maybe a higher low of the trend line or something like that. So yeah, I'm still looking for that move high, but I do think we'll probably have a bigger sell first before we push up. Okay, scalp in London, leaving a runner to Asian. Okay. So you're just going to see how far you can push it. But yeah, I think there's a realistic expectation to see a push up there, as price is doing such a good job at respecting the lows. And then maybe see how far price can run. I like leaving runners for trades as well, which is what inspired me to use trailing stop losses in the beginning, just to see how far price can move. Because sometimes you just catch that trade, you don't know how far it's going to go. Some will hit your targets in reverse, some will not quite hit your targets in reverse, and some will just keep going, and it could turn into 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10R potentially on a trade. Of course, they won't happen often, but when they do happen, it can make up a big chunk of your trading year, really. So that's why I like trading stops. Okay, nice. Anis, elevating trades launching anytime soon? Yes, we're launching very soon. Probably looking at mid October. We had some issues to amend first when we're doing some beta testing, so that pretty much fixed. But I want to make sure everything's in order first, and then we will look into launch mid September. I mean mid October, probably. I mean, the date is not set yet, but probably looking around 17th of October to the 20th of October, around that date there for a launch. So guys, make sure you're in the Elevating Traders Discord channel, because there will be discount opportunities for people in the Discord group. And who doesn't like a discount? So if you are interested, make sure you go check out the Discord channel. Completely free to join as well. The link to that is at the top of the chat as well. So make sure you go check it out, guys. Yeah, in a few days. I'm excited. I'm excited to get the ball rolling. It's going to be interesting. Hey, cheers, Anis. That is the link there. I mean, I know you guys can't copy and paste the screen, but that is the link. So make sure you go check it out if you're looking to join the Discord group. There's, of course, other traders there. You can share ideas as well, setups. I post some opportunities there as well, which I'm looking at. So if you want to discuss, see what I'm looking at, feel free to check out the Discord there as well. What type of challenges do people like? 1 step, 2 step, 3 step challenges? I know 2 step is the OG, is the original. Then the 1 step and the 3 step came along. I think the 1 step first, then the 3 step. And I get the different kind of psychological aspect of each, because 1 step is like, okay, if I do 1 step, I'm funded. If I do 3 step, it's 3 steps. Of course, the targets are less, but then you just have to pass it 3 times. Less the better for me. Yeah, I suppose that. I think that's where the majority will be. I think the less the better. But of course, there are benefits to using the 3 step as well. Okay, we'll wait for the euro to get there. Hopefully Aussie CHF can get going. We're very close to the entry. Back in profit, hopefully. But yeah, it's going to take its time. Looking for a big swing position here. And also, as well, another reason why I'm not looking to take another trade as well is because Aussie CHF shorts and pound yen shorts, although they're not really linked, pound and Aussie not really correlated to a large degree anyway. CHF and yen are quite correlated. Normally, when the yen pairs are down, so the CHF pairs in general. So for NFP, it's either going to help out both trades or not help out both trades. So it's either NFP is going to give these guys a nice kick in my direction or probably give them a kick against me. So that's another reason why I don't want to jump in the trade, because they're not like hedging each other. They're very much in the same kind of direction, really. Maybe the yens hit harder or the CHF will hit harder when NFP comes out, but they'll probably do the same thing in terms of direction. So I don't want to overexpose myself there from that perspective as well. In my two phases, the profits carry over. I mean, with the two phase, you're looking at a profit target. I mean, for elevating trades, you're looking at 8% profit target and a 5% profit target. So altogether, it'll be 13%. If you do the maths, 8 plus 5, 13%, but it's split 8 and 5. So the profits don't carry over, but you will have a less target on the second step. But of course, you could just do the one-step challenge, which has a 10% target, but of course, less room in the drawdown. Yeah, hopefully these CHF pairs can pick up, because I do think these CHF pairs can roll over. Pound CHF, that was the one really that's just got away, because I shorted the Aussie CHF at a similar time that pound CHF. I think, when did I short Aussie CHF? I shorted it 1st of October. When's the 1st of October? So 1st of October is here. So pound CHF has played out really well, because I shorted it on this candle here relative to pound Swiss. 1st October, closed at 10 a.m., open at 6. Aussie CHF, same time there. Actually, no, a little bit after, but roughly the same time, same day anyway. Aussie CHF still at my entry price, but pound CHF all the way down here. So that's where the relative strength comes in of each particular currency, which is why correlation is quite important as well. Because if I shorted pound CHF, I'll be well into profit right now. Of course, that pound weakness is kind of unforeseen anyway, because you compare other CHF pairs. When did I short this one? So yeah, I shorted here, New Zealand CHF. I'd be in profit, but I'd have a much bigger stop loss there. CAD CHF, I shorted this one here, so I'd actually been in a loss there with CAD. And with Euro, I shorted here, so I'd be at break even really, into profit, but now back there. But pound would have played out the best, but then again, hindsight plays a big role into that, because who knew pound would be so weak. The technicals lined up for most of them. Pound CHF looked good, but it didn't look that good, and now that is bleeding really, really heavily. But then the idea is the same with all of these CHF pairs. You've had a big drop in July. I'm looking at this as a correction of that drop for another continuation. Not necessarily targeting the low here, but I do think we can see some downside, at least back into this area for pound Swiss. Aussie CHF, similar situation as well. Big drop there. I'm looking at this as a correction. And do you think we can come back into the low there? New Zealand CHF, similar thing as well. CAD, not the best. If I was going to short, I'd be shorting up there. And Euro CHF, similar as well. Putting those lower highs in, looking for a move down. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm expecting with the CHF pairs, which is very similar to the yen pairs as well. Big sells, looking for the same thing as well. Pound yen, big sell, looking for a similar thing there, so on and so forth. But yeah, pound played out phenomenally well. And I remember there was a few people looking to short pound CHF last week. I wonder if they got involved. Yeah, I mean, again, when we launch, you will see all the. I mean, we'll probably probably find out before that, to be honest. But you'll see all the different rules and targets. By the way, guys, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you do drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It does really help out the channel. We do appreciate everyone who has liked and subscribed as well. And of course, whilst you're at it, make sure you do go and hit the bell so don't miss on any streams or uploads in the future, because of course you'll be notified. Keris, New Zealand CAD, will take a look. No problemo. So New Zealand CAD I actually really like. It's a very similar opportunity to New Zealand dollar. I think both of them look really good, and they both tend to move in the same direction as well. So it's nice to see both of them lining up. You're thinking of shorting, I'm thinking of buying. Yeah, I'm pretty bullish on New Zealand CAD. We've been very slow with these higher highs and higher lows. And to me, it looks like we're going for another pullback for potentially another one of those swings. And there's two areas which I like for a buy. The area we're coming into now and the low down here. Those are the two areas that look good for a long, especially on the 4 hour. We see nice bullish engulfing in this area. I think that's a nice place where we could see some upside. If not, then this low here as well. If you're looking at shorting, where are you looking to short from? I suppose you're looking for, the correction of this move and a continuation of that, I suppose. If not, let me know. But of course, we've been dropping pretty hard. I can see price has sort of broken through a low here as well. So maybe that could be a sign that price is putting a bit of a head and shoulders, looking ready to drop lower. So if you're looking for that move, I can understand that as well, especially intraday. But I think the bigger move in the higher time frames is still likely to be to the upside. So that's kind of why I'm pretty bullish. But if you're looking at intraday level, then yeah, if you're looking to just continue that momentum on a pullback, I think the shorts look good. But I'll probably be looking at entries, maybe hourly chart, maybe looking for us to pull back into that level there before looking for a short. But in terms of what I'm looking at, I'm definitely looking at the bigger move, which for my analysis looks to be to the upside for now. So I'm going to be focused on the buys for NZD CADs. Same thing with NZD USD as well. I guess probably NZD USD, you probably be looking for a short too. Similar price action there. But for NZD USD, we're coming back into a massive high here, where again, if we see some nice rejection, I do think we can see a lot of upside. Same thing from the low here as well. If that doesn't hold, I'll be looking for a turnaround there, and pretty much the same setup and as NZD CAD. Big level which we're coming into. If that doesn't work, we've got the low as well. The low down there, high, high, low, high, high. Now just looking for that next high low, at that area there. So yeah, with the NZD USD and NZD CAD, bullish for both of them. Intraday, we have had a lot of momentum there, so shorts makes sense from that point of view, but I just don't expect them to go too far. If my high time frame bias is correct, of course, I could be wrong. Maybe price is going to melt down and really sell off. So maybe the shorts could go far, but I'd watch out for that level because that is a big turning point on the daily chart. Kind of saying the same thing with Aussie dollar as well. I like this level there for a long. But then again, I can't really be looking to buy Aussie dollar if I'm selling Aussie CHF. Selling Aussie and then buying Aussie doesn't really make much sense. So we'll see how these guys develop. Again, I think NFP will be the catalyst for the direction, set everything up. So I think it'll be interesting to see what we do from that point of view. Need a larger account, I think, before I can swing trade. You can do it on smaller accounts, but of course, if you're going to swing trade, on average, you will have larger stop losses. So you need to at least have enough money in the account where you can have a larger stop loss and still be able to manage risk accordingly. Because if you had like $100 in your account and your stop loss is like 50 pips, then I don't think you can even risk 1% on a trade at that point. I think 0.01 depends on the market you're looking at, but 0.01 probably would be more than 1% of that account, which is $1, of course. So your default trade would probably be at least 3 or 4 or 5% per trade. So yeah, there is of course going to be a certain number you probably do need to have in your account before you can swing trade sensibly and logically. And yeah, day trading is probably better because you can have tighter stop losses, so you can manage your risk a little bit better. But yeah, it will come. It will come. The day will come when you have a large account to do that. But trading is trading really. So if you're day trading well, you can always swing trade well as well. Of course, there's different components to it, and people will be better at one thing rather than the other. But trading is trading. If you can apply an edge to the market sustainably, manage your risk sustainably, keep a level head, stay mentally sharp, mentally clear, and do that in the long run, then you've got yourself a really nice opportunity to go really far. And if you want to then later turn into swing, it will be a bit of a shift, a few things you have to change and get used to, but the core skills remain the same. So whether you're day trading or swing trading, go for it. And you can always change if you want later. I've always really been a swing trader, but I did start off day trading early doors. But even recently, I've made a tweak and looked for even higher time frame trades as well. So 2 weeks will happen as you go around. Can't wait for that day. Need to stop being a hog because I'm always getting slaughtered. Yeah, again, like I said, you want to come into that day as well. It's not going to just come around like that. You want to be that trader first before that day arrives. I'm probably saying it really weirdly, but I hope you get my point. What I'm trying to say is that you need to be the trader first for that day to come around. It's not like you're searching for the day comes to you, sort of thing. Especially in the lower time frames, there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of markets moving. It's easy just to take a trade here, take a trade there, take a bunch of losses, take a bunch of wins. You need to be patient and work on that skill, and then that will be a very important skill when it comes to swing trading. Yeah, of course, baby steps. Baby steps. That's the right way to put it. Baby steps. It's just like with everything as well. Learning a language, you're not going to be an expert in one day or 1 month or even 1 year. I mean, you can do a lot in 1 year, but you definitely won't be an expert. And the more experience you have, the more exposure you have, the better you will be for it. It's just the consistency, really. Excuse me, just the consistency. These yen pairs have been so annoying because it's also costing me money to be in this trade for pound yen because swaps are negative here for selling. So it's costing me money to hold this trade. So at least I want it to be a profitable trade if I'm going to be paying money to hold this. Same with Aussie CHF, although the swaps aren't as detrimental as pound yen. So hopefully we can eventually get the ball rolling. But yeah, the yen pairs are being all over the shop. Difficult to trade intraday. I think pound's still pretty weak, really. Not as weak as it once was, but still having that weakness. Chuck's holding buys in euro. What do you think? Okay, I'll take a look. Okay, no problem. Only want to have a good one, my man. Hopefully, see you tomorrow. Or maybe on Trading Nick later if you're about. Let me know if you where have you entered, Chuck. So is your entry at current price, or are you a little bit below or above? Let me know. I'm looking to buy euro as well, just a little bit further down from where you are. I'm looking around 1.10138, which is basically this low, before I can take some longs. I like the buys from here, 1.09490 as well. It's just not quite in that area yet, at least the first level yet. So I kind of want to see a bit more downside for euro, 1.10255. Okay, that's more or less right below there. Wait, 255. Okay, so you've pinched it just here, pretty much. Impressive entry. Impressive entry. Do you have a target for that position? Do you have a target for that position? Let me know. But yeah, I'm looking for us to come a little bit lower first before the buy. I mean, I would expect you to not to be looking for any crazy targets, really. Maybe around this area or maybe this area here potentially for a buy, and call it a day. But I'm hoping we come a little bit further because I'm looking for a swing back to the high, because this is where my area of interest lies. But I like the buys for euro. I'm really bullish on it. It's just not quite ready yet for me to join. Okay, we joined there. Cool, cool, cool. We'll see you there. And anyone else interested as well, we'll be live again later today on Trading Nick's channel. So if you're free from around 1:45 p.m. UK time, check it out. Trucks 1.010659, 1.01. Okay, so around here. So yeah, that's a pretty reasonable target, I would say. Realistic as well. Not looking for anything crazy. I've seen some crazy trades where you have very small stop losses and then your targets, like a daily target. But yeah, I think realistically we could get there. But yeah, I'm looking for the longs off that area there. But it does look like price is becoming quite corrective, slowing down. How's the dollar looking? Yeah, dollar's slowing down as well. We have been really bullish, but it doesn't look like price is having as much joy as it had this morning. If dollar does hold this level, then we could come crashing down here, and that will really help out your trade. So yeah, pivotal plays for dollar as well. We'll see how the news affects that later today. Tattooed. Okay, gold. What are you looking at for gold? I'm still very bullish for gold. Still expecting higher prices here, back to 2,700. That's the new big psychological level I have for gold. I think breakouts are a really smart way to take it. I'm not really a big fan of breakouts in terms of entries, but I feel like breakouts in these conditions make a lot of sense because the market is just so bullish. When we do get that breakout, we just fly. I think, again, if we get another breakout outside of this channel, you're probably going to fly as well. So I think because just of how much bullish momentum there is in gold right now, I think if you're going to look to take buys, breakouts is a smart way to go, or try and anticipate those turning points. And for me, this low around 26.25 looks pretty good. But if we don't get that retest and price just kind of pushes up, then looking for some candle closures above that look good. And yeah, I think we can push back to the high and beyond that as well. So very, very bullish on gold for me. Very, very bullish. I think higher prices are soon come. It just depends if gold probably wants to retrace a little bit further and then push on, or just push straight away. But this for me is a nice area which I'm looking to buy from, and it doesn't look like price is going to get there anytime soon. So I'm pretty much just going to stay on the sidelines for now. But if gold does get that to 25.89, then that becomes a point of interest for me to take some buys all the way back up to that high and just trail, because if I can catch a nice buy on gold, who knows how far it can go. I'm just going to be trading, see if I can really maximize that position. But yeah, bullish on gold, expecting a big breakout soon, and maybe waiting for some breakout for some entries is probably the smartest way to look at it. I think silver could do something similar as well. Strong break of the high there. I'm looking for the retest for the long, or if we have a bigger pullback into this area, I'll look for the long over there as well. But I actually prefer silver to gold because the opportunity looks a little bit more likely to form for me, the break and retest. And this one's nowhere near all-time highs as well. All-time highs is all the way up there. We've got a long way to go before we get there. So I like the buys because there's a lot of open space for us to run into. Subisu, welcome to the stream. Still holding sells on USD CAD, but on breaking price. Okay, I'll take my stock, waiting for the news for a hopeful reversal. It'd be like that sometimes, my man. I'm kind of in that same boat with NFP really on Friday. So you're shorting dollar CAD. So dollar CAD did see some nice downside, but unfortunately, I think because of USD strength yesterday, it kind of didn't go quite well. Price kind of bottomed out here and turned around. I think this is still a solid place for a short for dollar CAD, and we can still see a push down. And again, if you do get stopped out, don't take it to heart. It just might mean that you're a bit early to the party, because I think the shorts is the way forward of dollar CAD. I do expect dollar CAD to fall a lot further in the near future, as long as we respect this high here, as I keep mentioning. As long as we don't break through that high, I think the bigger move of dollar CAD is back to the low here. It just might mean that if we do push up higher, price might want to maybe retest the high first again before the sell happens. So then you jump back and do some shorts a little bit higher up. The risk reward would probably be better as well, so you can make back your loss and then some. So it's not the worst thing in the world getting stopped out if your risk reward is positive. You make back the loss and then plus more as well. So it can still be a profitable opportunity as a whole, profitable endeavor here with dollar CAD. It just might mean that you start on the back foot and then you make a comeback later on. But yeah, the shorts look really good for dollar CAD. We're back at this area, which I suppose was the level you shorted from last time. And maybe your stop loss is roughly above the high here somewhere. So yeah, maybe the news does push price back against you, back for you. But if it doesn't, don't rule it out. Many people take the short and just walk away. Maybe price is just going to push up a little bit higher and then get the short. So keep an eye on 1.36. Like I said, this high here is pivotal. If we can respect that, maintain below that, then I think the shorts is definitely the bigger move and where you want to position yourself. And maybe there could be some shorts and buys on the way up as well. So you can play both sides. But the bigger move for me, at least from a swing bias, is still very much down in my books. So I think you're in a good direction. It's just we'll see if maybe you're a bit too early and maybe the price wants to move a little bit higher up. But yeah, dollar CAD has been moving a little bit all over the place. And again, CAD's strength and weaknesses been flip-flopping as well. Had a look at oil. It's been looking bullish, the bearish, and bullish again. Still testing that major level there. I still think there is room to the downside. But the key thing you want to be keeping an eye out for is dollar as well, which is still retaining that momentum. Yeah, we'll see what the news brings. But I'm in the same boat really with NFP tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see if it's going to be a nice week, and the news will give us a little nudge in the right direction or a tug in the wrong direction. USD is back at major resistance there as well. That one could be looking for a bit of a sell, but I don't like dollar CHF. It's all over the shop. Horrendous price actions. Probably dollar CHF and dollar CAD as well, I'm not a big fan of because they're quite choppy pairs. At least with euro and pound, they trend a lot better. So I know I can be a bit more successful in these conditions. So dollar CAD, dollar CHF, I sometimes do trade. Don't get me wrong. It's just I'm a bit more picky with opportunities there. If it's not top quality, I probably would just wait for another USD pair to set up and look to trade there. But yeah, for now, still going to be managing pound yen and Aussie CHF. These are my two trades in currently. Both not really moving that great, to be honest. More or less both near my entry price. Hopefully we can get some movement in my direction because wouldn't be fun really if NFP is coming out and price is just in the middle of my drawdown for both of them. That would not be very fun at all. So hopefully we can get some continuation between now and tomorrow, and then we can sit through the fun. I will be streaming again later today with Trader Nick, so watch out for that. And I will be streaming again on Friday twice, in the morning like I usually do, and in the afternoon to witness the phenomenon we call NFP as well. So if you guys are interested, stay tuned for that. But anyway, guys, we have come up to the end of the stream today. If you have found it useful, please be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and it does really help out if you do that. So I appreciate everyone who has done so. And if you haven't done already, make sure you do hit the bell as well so you don't miss out on any streams uploads in the future. But guys, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Like I said, I will be live again later today on Trading Nick's channel. So if you're free, feel free to pop in. If not, I'm live again tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. UK time, and later that day for NFP as well. So if you're free, pop in and say hi. Guys, really appreciate you tuning in. Have a great day. If I do make any updates, I'll let you know in Telegram, which is linked in the description. But again, like I said, I won't be looking to enter any new trades. It'll just be looking after the current ones I'm in. So we'll see how that goes. But nonetheless, guys, have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.